It's been a while since I've did this Lions Talk thing, and boy, I know it's been some people out there suffering. I know it's been some people out there dealing with some battles, and these messages matter. On top of it mattering, it is important that it is addressed. I don't want to use a lot of time today, but I want to make sure I spend the appropriate time on the right issues. There's a lot of things happening in the current world that may force you or put you in a position to ask yourself some uncomfortable questions. And let me just be clear. You are not the only one asking yourself uncomfortable questions. You are not the only one who was trying to figure things out. And you will not be the only one getting through it. There is help out there for you. There are people who can assist you if you've gotten to the point where you can't take it no more. There's things like BetterHelp, who I'm not even like sponsored by, but I've used for myself, my own personal self, for a multitude of things, whether it be from a loss of a family member, a friend, or rather it just be because I've gotten to a point where I'm not sure of many things like I used to be. But if you ever get to the point where that's not enough, then three numbers can save your life. Three simple, small numbers. 988. 988. That's all you got to do. Dial three numbers. If 988 can't help you, 911 can. So before you make a decision that we got to live with, make one that you can live with and get help. Now let's punch in and talk some football. Pride Nation, I'm out the damn Batcave. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I had to come out of the Batcave because it was necessary. It was needed, and I needed it. Like I really needed this. But the game plan that I originally had for this offseason did not go according to plan at all. A lot of different things happened at work due to the current administration, and I'm gonna leave that little tidbit right there for you. But just know that there was some disruption in some things. And that's what caused me to get a little bit more dialed in on those things so I can maintain a livelihood for my wife and my children. Now, get all that out the way, people. We going to talk some ball. I'm going to make this show real simple. I'm not going to overcomplicate this thing. You hear me? Off rip, I'm just not going to do it. What I am going to do is make sure that you're clear about some rules here. Okay, here's some things. I'm going to do a whole lot of rapid firing pertaining to this offseason, this upcoming draft. I am going to be live again tomorrow around the same time, okay? And then I'm going to be live again the next day around the same time. But I'm not going to go live on the day of the draft. And the reason for that is you have more than enough resources and people to go and watch for the draft. What I want to do is I want to fully dive into what we're doing in the draft. And then once the draft is complete, give you what my thoughts are and how I see it going and how I see it playing out. That's what I want to do. All right. Now, y'all know me. Whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1 million, I got to show love to the people. And today we got my man Looney Tune in the building. All right. We got my man Tim Hutchinson in the building. Ed W is in the building. We got Giovanni Lyons in the building. We got Nemesis Breaks in the buildings. Big T is in the building. Midwest Lions in the building. Detroit Lions Bad Guys in the building, a.k.a. John Kapler. All right? And listen, I'm going to be hitting on a lot of different things, particularly my big board. Now, let me be clear to you. My big board is not in no particular order. All right? I'm not trying to structure this to be in no type of order. These are just players that I have identified as players, and I will be happy if we get any of these players. But before we do that, let me get into all the BS that was known as the offseason. I've seen a lot of things happening recently that I just thought was absolutely funny. It's mighty funny how Luke was being critical of Brad Holmes and his failures to fully and accurately address the defense. But all of a sudden, I noticed this offseason, everybody seemed to have a Brad Holmes complaint. I wonder what happened. What was the thing that set you off? Right? And then on top of that, the other things that I started seeing were the most ridiculous, dumbfounded, founding strange things that were being written about the Lions. Most recently, that there's a source. See, everybody has a source, right? And back in my time, the source was a magazine for people who like hip hop. But these sources today somehow get to be Casper and Slimer from Ghostbusters, with no one able to ask them where did this come from and how did they get there. And the rumor now is they're going to trade Jameson Williams. This is the biggest load of BS I have ever heard in my entire life, y'all. I want y'all to understand something. He traded up for a dude that he knew was hurt, and he did that because he liked the talent. He is not about to trade the damn receiver. I don't know what's wrong with this fan base, and every year we want to turn around and get a receiver that's new, but Brad Holmes knew what it was. Brad Holmes knew that the receivers that he have are good. And I'm not being funny. If you just sit there and think about it, right? You still got Amon-Ra St. Brown. You brought back Tim Patrick, and you got J-Mo. And now you're going to tell me in a Super Bowl window, you're going to trade away the fastest receiver on the team and probably the second fastest receiver in the NFL. Really? That's what we're doing? Come on now, people. Make it make sense. Some of the things are just people writing things because they need something to talk about. Some of it is people writing things because they're not even sure of the things that they thought they were sure of to write about. But what I'm sure of is that this is a bunch of baloney. I also want to point out this BS right here too. This idea of what's his name? Marcus Davenport. Oh, he's not going to be a starter. You're drinking if you don't believe that. Here's my honest opinion. I really believe that Brad Holmes is going to trade out of the first round. I believe this. I'm telling you right now, my soul says yes, okay? I believe Brad Holmes is going to trade out of the first round in an attempt to get extra first, second, and third round picks, maybe a fourth, and a future conditional pick. Why would I believe that? Why would I think that Brad Holmes would trade out of the first round? You're picking 28, right? And many of the players that you can get will still be available well into the second and third rounds, right? This is what I believe he's going to do. Now, it's not what I would do. I personally would trade up and I would draft Mike Green out of Marshall, number 15. I would draft him in a heartbeat because I believe he would be the perfect complement to Aiden Hutchinson. I really believe this. He would be the perfect complement to Aiden Hutchinson. All right. Now, why do I see him trading back? Well, it's a lot of stuff. People talk about he can take a guard, but guess what? If I got multiple seconds, let's say I got 3 second-round picks, right? Could I not get a guard, a pass rusher, and anything else that I want in the second while still maintaining the ability to add more players in the third and the fourth? Yes, you can do those things. I personally would not do it. I even thought about, well, what would Brad Holmes do if he stayed at 28, right? And the answer scared me because if it's one thing I know is Brad Holmes going to make sure Jared Goff is taken care of. And now you got to go down and ask yourself, well, does running back help Jared Goff? Nope. He's got about 2 or 3 of those. Does tight end help Jared Goff? Nope. He's got a tight end. Does receivers help Jared Goff? Well, he's got 3 quality receivers that they like. One big target, one strong slot guy, another speedster to stretch the field. Don't really see receiver being the spot. Could he go tackle? No, he's got that. Could he go with a guy that can play tackle, guard, and center? Yeah. Yeah, if he's stuck at 28, I think he's taking the offensive lineman. Is it sexy? No. But my rules for this draft this year is as long as he acquires players at the positions that we are like hurting to get talent at, and they are dogs, I'm cool. I'm cool. As long as they do that. Okay. Now, if for some strange reason, I don't know what that reason may be, but if for some strange reason he does not do that, I decided to come up with my own personal list to control my sanity of players I would just be okay with if they was on this team. Nothing crazy, nothing more. So, without further ado, let me show you the big board of players that I want. Everybody and mama going to talk about Abdul Carter. And it's like, hey, there's a lot of talks about him possibly being hurt. Other BS stories about he could be falling and stuff. But if for some strange reason this happens and he's in position for us to trade up and get him, I would be more than happy to have him. I would be more than ecstatic to have Abdul Carter. It is something about the number 11s that come out of Penn State. It just seems like they bred the same. You look at his measurables compared to every other number 11 who came up out of there, and they all performed. Would I take Carter over Mike Green? No. Do I think Carter can be better than Mike Green? Yes. Well, why would you not take him over Mike Green? Because I believe Mike Green is more of the complement player that we need to Aiden Hutchinson. He's a better running mate. Go back and look at it. If Aiden Hutchinson would be the equivalent to what Michael Strahan was. Michael Strahan wasn't necessarily the fastest, but he was sound enough in his skill set and relentless enough to get the job done. And what they do, they put people like Justin Tuck and O.C. Umaneri opposite of him with a little speed. I believe that can be Mike Green. All right? That's what I would believe. Donkey Khan says it would be Brad's personal best player available at all times. I'm cool with that. Just explaining to you why I would be okay if we got Abdul Carter and if we didn't. Okay? Now, in terms of other pass rushers, Mykel Williams. Now, this is a little bit controversial because I've seen him mocked to us a few times. My biggest problem with Mykel Williams is he does not jump off the screen when I watch him. Not for me. But he still has the speed element that I want. And it was William. William was the one who said that this draft is going to be based on production versus potential. I thought that was a perfect quote to describe what this draft was. Potential versus production. Okay? But would I be mad if we took this guy? Not one bit. He would not be necessarily my favorite, but he fits the need that I think we need to have. Here's my guy that I just want. Just go ahead and lock it in. This is the guy that I want. He's my Isaiah Simmons. He's my Kyle Hamilton. He's my Khalil Hodge. He's the guy that I think is a very good player. And I hope that he somehow slips far enough down to the board to the 20s to where we can trade up and get him. And don't got to give up too much. But I believe he is a perfect complement to Aiden Hutchinson. Perfect. Another player that keep getting, love tones, mock draft to us and all the love given to Nick Scorton. And this is the thing about Nick Scorton. Nick Scorton, to me, frustrates me from what I saw on field. And this is what threw me off a little bit about him. I'm watching him, and on like certain teams, he just dominated certain teams. But then when certain teams had a little bit more competent person, he sat there and was pillow fighting with these people too long. And I'm like, come on, man. And again, he still fits the need of that speed guy that I would like to have on our Lions. So I can't kill it. Next up, Ashton Gillety. I probably pronounced his name wrong. Don't shoot me. I just like this player because I have seen enough in him to know that he's going to work hard for you, that he has a little potential to be better. But overall, I don't really see him going too high. And you could probably get him in the 4th or 5th round, which is cool. But what I think you get in a player like this is a guy who's willing to work for it. He wants it. He wants to get at the guy. And I can see some teams falling in love with him enough to get him higher than the 3rd and 4th round. But he's a guy that when I watched him, I was like, oh, yeah, I see it. It popped off on the screen for me. It was there. Let me get into my linebackers because some of these people we ain't going to get. I know it. But let me be clear to y'all. If it was me drafting, I would be drafting a pass rusher first, a linebacker second, and a guard third. If it were me drafting, I can't speak for everybody else, but if it were me drafting, I would be drafting in that order. Pass rusher, linebacker, guard. That's what I will be doing. It's just that I said squirting. Or did I say squirting? I can't remember. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Perry Ball, what up, though? Don't get me started. But this is just me. We need a linebacker bad, people. I have identified linebackers that I think not only would be great upgrades and people who can come in and help us immediately, whether it be rotation or starter, because I believe that they have the ability to take some people starting spots. And Jarrett Wilson is one of them. I watch Jarrett Wilson. Jarrett Wilson makes me feel good about football again. Okay? Jarrett Wilson makes me feel good about football again because he plays the position soundly. He's not out there doing too much. He ain't going to always necessarily be the most flashy, but he's sound. And the last person I saw that was sound like that was Luke Kuechly. And I'm not saying he's going to be Luke Kuechly, but I'm just telling you that was the last time from my memory where a person looked at that sound and they play. All right? That's just me. The next person, I know we ain't going to get. He looks like him. He is him. When I watch Jahad Campbell, it looks like a linebacker that has range. He reminds me so much. And I know people gonna say this is, come on, Luke, you tripped. No, but it's true. He reminds me so much of Roquan Smith that, like, if we got this pick, that means you go ahead and sit Jack Campbell down, move him to DN or something, let him try something else in life. I don't know. I know that the people are happy about what Jack Campbell did for the Lions, but I'm telling you right now, what I saw out of his play, man, come on now. Come on. This boy right here different. Again, that's just my big board. Players that I would preferably want to have on this team. And I'm only doing defense right now. I'll add the other players tomorrow. I have a different list for that, but I just want to, give a few names. He was one of them. All right. Next up, my underdog, underrated, can't believe people ain't talking about him. People have lost their mind. This player right here, Carson Schwarzenegger, is the most complete linebacker in terms of this draft. Coverage, check. Speed, check. Change of direction, check. Football IQ, check. The ability to lead, check. Can tackle, check. This man, I can't believe I didn't hear this name more. He jumped off the screen for me immediately. Immediately he jumped off the screen. And yes, I will be back tomorrow at 8:30. I got more to do. I'm going to do this for 3 days and up until the day of the draft. Then after the draft, I'm going to go do a live stream afterwards, just giving my reaction on what we did and what everybody else did. But let me be clear. Carson, he's a Detroit Lion. If there's ever a player that looks the bill of a Detroit Lion, it's Carson. A lot of these people, I'm not showing film on them right now, only because I want you to look these names up. Pause the video, and on your leisure time, write the name down and go and look these people up. Most of them you already have, but this dude is underrated. This dude is underrated. And I'm not exaggerating this when I say this. This kid can go. I've seen him run with running backs. I've seen him run with tight ends. I've seen him blitz in perfect gap with speed, perfect tackling form. This is 100% a Detroit Lions player. And if we get him, you're going to see Luke not too upset. If he go to the Packers, you're going to see Luke mad than a mother. I'm telling you right now. All right? He go to the Vikings or anyone, I'm going to be upset. But this dude, the boy underrated. The boy is underrated. You hear me? What's going on, Doc Twerk? What's going on, Ramon the New Age? Like, now, let me be clear. I'm not telling everybody that they got to have my big board, but I've just identified these particular players as people who are it. And here's the thing. This is another player who I think has potential through the roof. My issue with him is at times he tackles like a safety. However, he stood out to me in so many Oregon games that I had to just keep watching. Jeffrey Bassa. This kid can go. Speed, check. Coverage skills, check. And in case you didn't know, he was a safety turn linebacker. And if it's one thing that you're going to notice about my list, all of these people play more than one position. All of these people have more than one assignment that they can adjust from. And the Lions like those kind of players. And this dude looks like it. Work on his tackling, but overall, I like what he is. And the stats, don't even care about. I just wanted you to know the name. Don't care about the stats. This is going to be one of the videos where I'm not going to give you the stats because they don't matter. I always tell you to do your own research anyway. It don't matter. The stats can tell one part of the story. I want you to go and find any highlight, go and type in the person name and just put verses afterwards and watch. If you got access to all 22, go find it and look at it. But Jeffrey looks like he could be a special team stud. Looks like picture how everybody loves Jalen Reeves-Maybin. He's faster. This guy's faster. He does the same thing Jalen Reeves-Maybin does. And if somebody go down, I would be perfectly fine with him coming in and playing. This brother right here. I'm just going ahead and put it out here. He's another player that I cannot believe I'm not hearing enough conversation about. Chris Paul Jr., not the basketball player. Chris Paul Jr., the football player. This boy different. When I watched his tape, I saw a guy who blitzed. His coverage, spotty. Not going to trip, spotty. But he was aggressive. He was a force. And he popped off the tape. He took good angles. He read the right gaps. And he a hitter. And when I tell you that this dude right here is something different, he's something different. If Carson is the most complete guy for me, this dude is running neck to neck. And if we get him, you should be excited. Because when Alex Anzalone and them is gone, or rather they here, and they will be, and if he come in, you're going to be screaming, put him in the game. You're going to be screaming that. But I just think that's what we need. We need pass rusher, linebacker, guard. That's what I think we need. And Chris Paul Jr., man, I rock with him. I watched tapes trying to find all the flaws, and I came away feeling good about him. All right. Perry Ball says, if we draft Schlesinger, we have to take him at 28. He won't be there at 60. This is why I think they're trading down. I think they're going to trade out of the first round, obtain extra picks, get pick 33, and whatever other second they can get, a third and a fourth, something like that. And they're going to draft their linebackers. That's what I think they're going to do. That's what I think they're going to do. And if he's stuck there, he's taking an offensive lineman. He's going to protect the investment. Now, will Paul Jr. be there in a second? Yes. Unless, I'm finna give you the big if. Unless teams like the Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, or Bills decide, we'd rather have that guy. But in my opinion, yes, he will be there in a second. My man John Kaplan says if he's the best linebacker, Lions aren't getting the best defensive players of any position at 28. That's not true. We've had late picks before and got great talent. That's not true. The thing is this. You got to think there are some people who was drafted late and other teams that were still successful. It's about what other teams believe. You got to remember, we got Barry Sanders because the Packers really bought into the hype of a dude who looks like the general from Toy Soldier. And look what happened. They look foolish. They look stupid. TJ Watt, I forgot what TJ Watt was drafted at, but I think he was a late round pick. You can still get talent there. Home needs to lose the smart guy in the room nonsense. Sometimes it's just, I don't even think he's trying to do that no more. I think he really has a plan in his head, but he's trying to do it cheap. That's why you got everybody now screaming about what he's doing and getting flack. But if the Lions start getting L's, watch how everybody started talking about Brad Holmes. See, at first the scapegoat was Aaron Glenn. He gone now. Y'all gonna see how good Aaron Glenn is. Just mark my words. But I'm just putting it out there. What up, though, Giovanni Lions? So just putting it out there. Now, again, this is just my big board of players that I would not be mad if the Lions got. All right. For the people who care about the stats, I don't. I just, here it is. I can care less. What I know is he tackles. I know he reads, he reacts. I rarely saw him do a false step. This is another player I'm not sure why people wasn't talking about. I know everybody wants to get a D tackle. I am all against D tackles. And if you're going to get one, let it be in the fourth round. Or let it be when you got like 2 or 3 third-round picks. But if you're going to get a D tackle, Jordan Burch will be wonderful for the Lions. Oh, yeah. See, I'm going to tell you, Jordan Burch is one of them guys that can play inside, outside, which I enjoy. But more importantly, Jordan Burch plays like a player that y'all never heard of. You ready for it? It's Jordan Burch. He literally has his own little arsenal of moves that he used to wreak havoc on other teams. And I appreciate that about his game. Okay? I do. I appreciate that. Again, I couldn't help but watch Oregon because, things were putting them in my face, but he stood out to me. And if you are not familiar with Jordan Burch, I don't know what you're doing. But this guy right here can definitely help the Lions. He ain't taking nobody's starting spot, which is another reason why I don't want a defensive tackle in the first round, because he's not taking nobody's spot. And I don't care who's hurt now. When they are no longer hurt, they're starting. And if you don't believe me, go simply to the first playoff game where all of a sudden David Montgomery is no longer hurt and he's the starter. If that's not enough proof, I can keep going down the list where Alex Anzalone comes in and he's the starter. being hurt, if you are the starter, you are the starter. Period, point blank. But a guy like this, who you can rotate in, whether it be DN and D tackle, brilliant. Brilliant. What's going on, Ghost Gunner? They got to give him some time. We can't get 3 third-round best edge, maybe. Third best D tackle, second, third best. I mean, if you look at most stats and most statistics, like when you look at receivers, running backs and stuff, it's usually the team that picks later that get the better player. Why? Because they're already more established and built. Whereas the teams that are early on are probably in the middle of a rebuild, or if they're not in the middle of a rebuild, okay, they are like going to terrible teams. Like, I'm not trying to be funny, but like, what would have happened if Cam Newton got the same treatment that Patrick Mahomes got? Patrick Mahomes, people didn't believe in Patrick Mahomes, and he went to a team that was ready to roll, and it was an already made team. And if Cam Newton had that same ability, if Michael Vick had that same ability, if Joey Harrington had that same ability, there are different players we're talking about. Well, you look, you can't say that because Kim went to a Super Bowl when the team got built around him. Imagine if he came in like Patrick Mahomes. But again, I digress. Jordan Burch, I like what I saw on the tape. Got a nice little arsenal, bull rush spin, rip pull. You know, I like what I saw. It stood out to me, and it jumped off the tape. Now, it's going to be some names not on here, and it's for a reason. And I'll explain to you why afterwards. And if you care about the stats, again, I don't. But if you do, here it is. I can care less. I don't care less. I mean, it's only a part of the story. Let's talk about this man right here. Ahmed Hassani. I probably botched his damn name. Well, Luke, why do you like this guy? What is it about this guy that stands out to you? A guy that can play inside and outside, number 91 from Boise. Well, why did you like him? Do he do anything special? No, I just think he'll be there for you in the 4th, 5th, 6th round. And he'll be a better role player because when I watched him, he reminded me so much of Cominsky. And Cominsky just retired. And that's exactly what I thought of when I saw this brother playing. A guy that looks like he should be everything all world and make a play here and there. And when you least expect it. But he plays the run really well. I like that. And his pass rushing skill set is, you know, unique, you know. You can always have more. You know how you go to like Costco's or something and they give you that sampler, and when it's trash, you like, oh man, I'm gonna throw this. And you spit into the little white cup and you throw it in the trash. But when it's good, you're like, damn, I need another one of those. That's why I feel about him. I feel like this is a guy who can do it all. Now you're gonna see those sack totals, you know, you're gonna see all those numbers and stuff, and you're gonna be like, oh, he got good numbers, and you know, I don't care. When I watch him, he just looks like the kind of guy that fits what we do here, and that's going to be able to say, I got to just keep going. I don't care what happened. If I just keep going, great things are going to happen. It's going to run into me, and that's what I saw from him in watching his tape. I came away feeling really good and confident about him and what he was doing. All right, just me. What are the odds on Davenport being injured within the first 5 games? 100%. 100%. I don't care if it's a toe, a fingernail, an earlobe. If an eyelash fall out, he going on the injury reserve list. This dude is just not built to last. And to the people who are trying to make sense of it, we can still go back and get Zadarius Smith. My problem wasn't even that they cut Zadarius Smith. My problem was you cut Zadarius Smith in favor of a dude who's hurt. Zadarius Smith was okay. He wasn't nothing to write home about. Yes, he looked like Rasheed Wallace. Yes, he dating Cash Dollar. Yes, he looks like he's healthy. Nobody cares. I don't care. There were a lot of games where I wanted to know where he was, where he could have been the it factor. But would I rather have Zadarius Smith over Davenport every day, twice on Sundays, and 3 times past leap year? Yeah, let me get that. Can't be worse. So yeah, that's that's the issue for me. It could be worse, but and again, for the people who care about the stats, voila. You know what's funny? He had 12 and a half sacks the year before. But again, I only watched these 2 seasons, every game, every snap. And he did what he needed to do when he needed to be done, but a lot of it was just forced this way. And again, I'm just giving you the people on my big board thus far that I would love for the Lions to have. Let's talk about Jared Ivey. This is another one of those guys that I keep on. People want D tackles. Jared Ivey, and y'all not going to like this comparison, but this is the reality of it. And you're not going to need a second round pick to get him, but he's Levi Onwuzurike, from what I see. A guy that looks like he should be 100% monster and all dog. He has the aggressiveness. He'll show you. He'll bend corners. He has those move sets and things like that. But I'm not looking at him to be a high draft pick. I'm not looking for him to reinvent the wheel. I'm looking for a player. Somebody that's just going to be good and able to help us. And when I watched him, I was like, dang, this looked familiar. And I had to go back and look at the college film of Levi Onwuzurike. And that's when it hit me. Hey, why not? At least this one ain't hurt like that. Yes, he has his fair share of injury, but he wasn't hurt like that. Ed says, I'm not even sure if Brad even knows Ole Miss is a football school. He won't have to know. But I like this. I like Jared Ivey. I think Jared Ivey is one of those guys who, if you add it for a D tackle, he can play outside too. And again, you're going to see that's the trend with a lot of these people that I'm looking at. I went through a bunch of names that were sent to me, and I walked away with a bunch of those names saying why. I've seen videos where people was hyping up Jack Sawyer, and I'm like, what did I miss? Are we watching the same player? Where they're hyping up JT, I'm not even trying to botch the other number 44 for Ohio State with the long-ass middle name. I mean, the long-ass last name. I thought Jack Sawyer was the benefactor of other people's hard work. Yes, he had some plays where he made it happen himself, but if we took him first, I'm gonna be upset because when I watch Sawyer, Sawyer's another one of them names coming out of Ohio State where people hyped up like they did with Chase Young. And remember, there was only one person who kept saying, hey, Chase Young, I don't see a generational talent. I see a guy who's lazy and take plays off. And I got chewed out for it, but remember somebody said it. All I'm pointing out to is this guy can do those inside, outside things, and I'd be okay with it. And it wouldn't cost you the price of, say, a Sawyer. All right? Now, for the people who want to see the stats, that's for you. I don't really care. I'm trying to tell you what I've seen in terms of the tape. Did they pass the eye test first? Secondly, do they meet the Brad Holmes criteria? Were they seniors? Some of them, most of them, yes. Were they captains? Yes. Did they have a productive season? Yes. And that's what I'm going off of. That's the formula. I'm going off of that. High character guys. You know, the ones that go to church every Sunday, not us heathens. Right? So I get it. But he's a guy that can go inside, outside, I think would be a good pickup. And ironically, he reminded me of Michael Bennett, the former outside the DN that played for Seattle. That's what he reminded me of. All right, let's get into my man Ashton. I want to say it was Looney Tune that brought him to my attention. And I dug deep and hard into figuring out what was the deal with this guy. And if you look at the production, 4.5 sacks, it's like, oh, okay. Let me be clear. Them don't let them sacks fool you. The dude just got a motor and he's gonna fight his heart out to get there. And I wanted to point that out. Now, Some other names I have pictures I have not put on there. Simply because I'm really hoping we're not looking too hard at this position. But that's furthermore the D tackles. And the most of the guys I put in there were D tackle / D ends. But there's one D tackle that I think gets a little buzz, but not as much buzz as he's supposed to. Everybody wants to talk about Walter Nolan, the Ole Miss D tackle, number 2, right? They want to talk about him, right? But there's some people in this draft that I think looked it better than him at times. And it was just the little things. I would notice like they would go like first down, second down, they were rush. It was like no big deal. But every third, every fourth, every crucial down, these players jumped out to me when I watched the tape. I'm like, dang, what's that? What is that? 3rd and 5? Boom, this guy makes a play. And it wasn't against trash talent. One of those guys is defensive tackle out of South Carolina, number 90, TJ Sanders. TJ Sanders, to me, just looks like he likes to be in people's backfields. Like, if he can build his own castle, it would be in backfields. Now, let me see if I can bring it up, if it'll let me. Let me see. Let me see if it'll let me. I'm trying not to get them to, you know what I'm saying, to not take me down. I'm going to look at some highlights for this purpose alone because I'm not trying to do a film breakdown. I just want you to be able to see what I saw and see some of the things that jumped out to me when looking at him immediately. Okay. Let me put that up. So one of the things that I want to do is slow it down. We like to watch everything in full speed, and that's great. You know what I mean? Like, you can watch it in full speed. I don't particularly care if you do or you don't. But sometimes to get the full effect of it, cool. Now, take note. I am paying attention to the schools he's doing this to. But I believe that if a school is not necessarily a powerhouse, you should make them look like they're not a powerhouse. And with him being right here, I mean, just now you may be saying to yourself, Luke, he didn't do a pass rush move. Nope. Just used pure power and got the dude the hell out of his way. That's called escorting him out the club. You just get out of my way. I can literally skip this thing around, right? And you can find a play. Just skip. Let's just go right here. Let's look at the next play. Now they got him highlighted here. And this is against Oklahoma. But just watch. Look at this. Now I want you to understand something. The last time I saw somebody doing this kind of work, okay, he was making Pro Bowls and getting recognition. And you may be saying, well, what recognition is that? What is it that they're doing that recognition? When I watch this guy, and I'm going to be honest with you, when I watch him, this guy to me plays like Aleem McNeil. It is spot on a 1-for-1. Their ability to use their big frame and get in and out of it, it is 1-for-1. This play right here, look, that's a whole hole right there. My man is giving him a job on his arm. I mean, the dude got it. Look at this. You couldn't even move him off his spot. One arm pin, he's still reaching and grabbing. This is the kind of stuff that you want to see. It's at Aleem McNeil 1-for-1. Look, I mean, it's crazy to see it. And guess what? You probably don't even have to do nothing but wait till like the 3rd or 4th round. He's not going to set you back. He's not going to be a guy that you got to get on high. He's a guy that's going to be able to come in late and learn. The same way we saw those flashes from Wingo, but Wingo couldn't quite put it together. I think this guy would. For those people who want to D-tackle, you don't have to get one high. You can wait. It's not going to be a run on D-tackles. It's just not. The next guy on my list. The next guy on my list is Walter Nolen. I would be happy to have him. The problem is you probably going to have to get him in the first round. And I don't want that. I don't. Why? I don't care where you draft him at. I just feel like he can't take nobody's spot, and he's not going to help the pass rush enough. And we're going to need pass rush. I don't know if people know this or not, but every quarterback in our division, minus ours, are mobile. Don't believe me? Look it up. Jordan Love, mobile. J.J. McCarthy, mobile. Caleb Williams, hella mobile. And I don't see how Nolen helps us with that. Omar Norman Lott from Tennessee, number 55. He's the most exciting, frustrating football player that I have ever seen on this thing. Well, Luke, why do you want him? He has to be a late round pick. There's no way you're going to convince me that he's not a late round pick. Why do you like him? Because he looks like Fisk from Florida State that's now playing for the Rams. The problem is he's so good. He just wow. He needs somebody to hone him in on these tools. This brother is explosive off the snap. I'll give you the full speed of this because I want you to see some of this explosiveness. Just look at this explosiveness. Now, keep your eyes on him. Off the snap, he looks like Fisk. And people are like, but he didn't make no play. Why are you showing this? Well, because I tend to watch these videos in real time and stuff catch my eyes. Let me just show you what I saw first. Who's the first one off the ball? It wasn't even close. I got dudes up here standing up. What's my man name? Peace. How did you beat the edge rusher? I'm serious. Think about this. You beating the edge rusher. How? First off the line. He just wow with it. Need a little control. Look at this. Double teams, don't matter. Good balance. Look at this. He jumps out. I want players who jump out the screen. Oh, Luke, this don't count. It's NC State. He is beating the guy who's going to get drafted in the first round off the snap. Every time. And it's not close. That's a hold, not a problem. Watch this. I'm just going to skip it up anywhere else. Let's just skip it up. Oh, gotta go back a little bit more. Look at this. Well, Luke, it's Kent State. It's two dudes trying to stop him, and he don't carry them to the quarterback. It's two dudes. Watch this. The spin move, come on. Come on. And this is what I'm telling you. He just wild with it. He got some moves. Right? Swim move right there. Keep coming. Now that I'm surprised they didn't call a penalty on, but it's not the point. But just to put it out there, look at this. He clears. I want people to understand something. They're projecting the Lions to take these guards, to take a guard from Alabama. Watch what he do to that guard. Like, they're projecting the Lions. Just watch them. This would make me watch it because they're talking about this guard from Alabama. Yeah, you're gonna need some help. Get that boy some milk. This dude looks like Fist to me. And the guy that everybody's hype about, Peace, however you pronounce his name, he's beating him off the line of scrimmage every single time. Just putting it out there. So I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings. There's another D tackle from South Carolina that's a late round guy too. I think I know who you're talking about, but he didn't jump off the screen to me. So I'm only naming people who I felt jumped off the screen when I looked at them. Okay. It says, matter of fact, most of the quarterbacks we play this season are mobile. I ain't even want to go that deep down the rabbit hole. If you look at the teams that we playing this year, if you think that helping Jared Goff with an offensive lineman is going to do you some favors, you playing yourself. Congratulations. Because what did you trade up for that big mammoth of a guy from Canada, for Manu? What'd you trade up for him for? Like, seriously. And this guy has the ability to collapse the whole thing. What's going on, Detroit D? He got the whole ability to do it. Now, again, I did look at Deion Walker, D tackle from Kentucky. But I didn't like the fact that he was, like you said, like a DJ Reader, a guy that's just gonna plug up space. I don't want that no more. Because Aleem McNeil, like Warren Sapp, has always shown me the power of pressure up the middle. Half the plays that was made from people on our team was because Aleem McNeil drew pressure up the middle. Just gonna put it out there. Okay? Just gonna put it out there. This guy right here. Jesus Christ, why I can't write? Ty Robinson. My comparison for Ty Robinson. First of all, I didn't know he played all these damn years of college football. I don't know how he pulled this off. All right. But my comparison for this man is Calais Campbell. Luke, you got to be kidding me. Oh, my God. That's such high praise. I know a lot of people give you comparisons, and they do it based solely on skin tone. I ain't him. This man can play inside, outside, stand up, you whatever you want. Oh, he's stiff. Don't care. Do not care. He's powerful. He's very, very powerful. Okay? Very powerful. Let me be clear. This brother shows an arsenal of pass rush move. He shows that he can play inside and outside. He shows that there's no such thing as too much stuff. This dude, let me get back to that, is standing up in the 2-point stance. Now, I don't know if y'all remember this, but we got a guy who's in a 2-point stance, and he wasn't doing so hot. That's not a problem for Big Dog over here. Okay? He can stand up, hands in the dirt, whatever. He don't care. He can get underneath there and then all. But that's a mobile quarterback that he got too. Up the middle. Up the middle. Like this is not normal, people. Nobody shouldn't be just beating people left and right like this. Calais Campbell is my comparison for him. And if you're not familiar with Ty Robinson, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for you. Because you should be familiar with him. Top tier, what up, though? One Pride, what up, though? Derek Harmon. Here's my review of Derek Harmon. Okay? You're not going to like this One Pride. If you took Derek Harmon in round 5, I'd be okay. I don't see a guy that's deserving of a high draft position. I wouldn't take him in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. I would not. Why? Because I've watched the other D tackles and I think they provide more. He big as hell. He big. But I want the guy who provides more. I don't want you just taking up space. I want you to take up the space and move the space with you. I'll give you an example of what I mean by this. One of my favorite players was on one of the teams I absolutely do not like. Vincent Wilford. Every time I watched Vincent Wilford, he took up space, but the space moved with him. Vita Vea took up space, but the space moved with him. Right? I can keep going. Haloti Ngata took up space, but the space was with him. Shaun Rogers took up space, and the space is with him. I don't want you just big. And yes, I remember Khalil Hodge. I want players. People who jump off the screen to me. People that when I watch tape, I'm saying, dang, this guy's making sound plays and stuff. And then the guys that they hype up, because it's all politics. Trust me, anybody who's played any sports, baseball, basketball, football, you get your break based on luck. If the coaches are lucky enough to put you in, or they're lucky enough to favor you, because some of them coaches be out there looking for kids' moms. It's based on luck. And what I'm saying is, I don't want no player who just takes up space. He had 5 sacks. I do not care. I would love to tell you something different, but I just don't care. And the reason I don't care is because I can show you a bunch of people with 5 sacks at the D tackle spot. What does that mean? What does that do for you? That it had to be more than that. Every D tackle I named got 5 sacks or more. Like, this is not me over exaggerating. I think he has a lot of potential. Right? Like, I don't want to knock it. But we're talking about the Lions and the Super Bowl window. I'm not taking no more players with projects or players who can't be on the field past a certain amount of time. I'm not taking no players who are super injured. I don't want those guys. Them ain't guys that I want. When I'm naming people like Tyler Robinson, he got 7 sacks. So what? He got 13 tackles for a loss. So what? The tape showed me that he's going to perform. I look at people like Ashton Gillety, right? Yeah, he had 4.5 sacks this season. 11 the year before, 7 the year before that, 4 before that. So what? Jared Ivey, a guy that plays DN and D tackle, had 7 sacks. What? I don't care about them stats. I'm going further. I named people like Amon Hassani, who got 9 sacks, 16 tackles for a loss. And the year before that, he had 12.5 sacks, 17 tackles for a loss. I didn't mention the stats because the stats don't matter to me. I watch a guy who takes up space, and if you watch highlights, of course he's great. Of course he looks good. It's a highlight. But I wasn't just out doing nothing. I was quiet for a reason. Every time you drop the name for me, I studied them. I checked them out. And when I looked at Hardman, I was like, yeah, I like some things about him, but do he really jump out? You talking about the D tackle from Toledo? I was like, yeah, no. Like, seriously. Like, I remember that. I looked him up. We had a whole conversation about it. I was not impressed. I don't care what he did at the Senior Bowl. I walked away unimpressed. And when I watched Derek Harmon, and again, you got to remember, I think I named 2 or 3 ducks. Like today. I'm not saying that he was not a good player. I don't just want a guy to take up space. He does not look like the other guys that I was looking at. Most of the plays that he made was people running into him. And that's all I'm pointing out. Not knocking him. Just wasn't the guy that I was like high on. Not a bad player. But if you're telling me I got to take him or one of the linebackers I named, I'm taking the linebacker. I got to take him or one of the DNs I named, I'm taking those DNs. Him or the other D tackles that I named, I'll take those D tackles. But even in this play right here, he doing a stunt, and this play was made by a guy that you know that I already named in Jordan Burch. Like, not knocking it. I just dig a little further, and I can show you what I can show you. But that's him. You got birthday on out here at this point. I don't name a few ducks. Now he coming around, but look who makes the play. He forced him this way. He's getting held, and still makes the grab. Then he comes and make the play. And you know who else got that same problem? Mason Graham. I remember I took a lot of heat for saying Mozzie Smith ain't it. Dallas Cowboy fans ready for him to get the hell on. So is the owner. Mason Graham benefited mostly because of Kenneth Grant. And I believe that this good brother here, who right now can make a play, because everybody else did their job. And that's cool. That's cool. But I'd rather have them other dudes. Look at him. He's celebrating, ain't even aware that the ball is out. Come on, bro. Get real. I ain't knocking it. But look, this is Idaho. I ain't never even been to Idaho. I don't know where the hell. Listen, I've never been there. But the people who stood out to me were people like Jordan Burch. And I'm going to show you why. He right here. There go Jordan Burch. Watch who everybody go to. They went to the man. Stop him. It didn't matter. So I'm not saying that he's not a good player, but you got to think. I'm looking for players down that list. I basically gave it to you like how I can see it going from first to last in a way, but I kind of want to focus on them a little bit different. That's all I'm saying. I want Mike Green like yesterday's news. I want Mike Green like red beans and rice with catfish. You hear me? That Mike Green is the perfect complement to Aiden Hutchinson. And yes, you're going to have to trade up to get him. You're going to have to trade up to get him. Mike Green is the perfect complement to Aiden Hutchinson. John say Broderick Martin going to have 5 sacks in 10 years. If he hear that long to get 5 sacks, shameful. Again, I'm only looking at people who fit the criteria. Captains, seniors, multiple year captains, high energy, high character, high potential guys. I've noticed Brad Holmes don't care about production because he's looking towards the future. My linebackers that I like in the mid rounds, Chris Paul Jr., what's his name? I'm trying to shoot the Kentucky guy. Oh God. I just can't believe I just went blank like that. It'll come back. It'll come back. If I stop thinking about it, it'll come back. I also like let me see. We're talking mid. See, that's the thing. I dug into the mid, but I really want them to take him in the second round. Like, seriously, we need a linebacker. Like, seriously. Friendly neighborhood Lions fan. What up, though? Top 12 if we trade up. I don't think listen, if we getting that high, we gave up some stuff. You know what I mean? But if you trading up that high, you better come out with somebody who can have instant day one starter impact. And to me, that's Mike Green. Mike Green can start day one. Hands down. Now, you're going to notice that I left certain names off. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and give you those names so you are not confused as to my logical way of looking at this. Again, this is not me saying that they are not good players. This is me saying I just don't see the hoopla for these players. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see it. The first one up on this list, that I don't see the hoopla about is Shamir. I don't see it. I've tried to. I just don't see it. He reminds me of that dude that came out of UCLA that went to the Falcons, McKinley, and he had the picture of his grandma, and everything he said sounded good. Like it sounded good. It sounded like it was the right thing to say, and it was all logical. It was all love, right? Like he looks like that. But I've never seen somebody do so much but not do nothing at all. This man is explosive. This man is there, but he is about as raw as Ziggy Ansah, and I'm not in the mood for this project stuff, especially if we talking first round. I'm not in the mood for it. You don't took 2-3 shots on projects. It ain't happening. And I'm not finna act like I'm supposed to hype him up. Shemar Stewart just does not. I don't see it. I don't see it. Don't talk to me about no receivers this draft. It don't make sense. Please don't talk to me about no receivers. But Luke, what about cornerback? Talk to me about cornerback some other day. 3rd round, 4th, I don't care. You went out and added the dude from the Jets. I'm drawing a blank on his damn name right now, too. You went out and added the dude on the Jets who played for Seattle. All right. You still got Rakestraw. You still got Terrion. You got Brian Branch who can do a little bit of everything. I don't want to hear about corner. Don't want to hear about receivers. Okay. But Shemar Stewart, I don't see it. Another name, I don't see it. Mason Graham. If Mason Graham somehow fall to you, let him fall further. Let him keep falling. Let somebody else give him the bungee cord or the trampoline to bounce back. But we can't be that person. I just don't see it. All right. This is gonna be a little controversial because I can't pronounce his last name to save my life. I can pronounce the first name, but the last name is gonna be a little tough. Donovan Azuruka from Boston College. Not saying he's a bad player. I don't see first round talent. I just don't. I tried to see it. I tried to understand it. I walked away like, would it make a difference if, he was taken later? Yeah, I feel better. I don't see that. I don't see that talent that's going to come in day one and start. Don't see it. Another name that has been popping up that people keep talking about, And again, I don't know why this is coming up with us, but is Tyler, the guard from Tyler Booker, the guard from Alabama. I just don't see it. Half the time, the running backs really had to jump over him and pass him. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. I feel like that gonna be a mistake on your part. You do this. He won't be the first Alabama offensive lineman to disappoint, and I don't see it. I'm sorry. If you see it, hey, point me to the direction and look. Seriously, point me where to look. Derek Harmon, not that he's gonna be a bad player. I don't see it. One of the people, One Proud 40 asked me about. I've answered this question many times. Gray Zebel. He looks like the most plausible pick at 28 because of the injury to Frank Ragnow, the loss of Kevin Zeitler. He looked like the most possible thing. They're going to do everything in their power to give their quarterback weapons and help. Would I take him in the first round? I don't see that talent. I don't see it. Sorry, not sorry. Which I can say that it was different. I just don't see it. James Pierce Jr. I see the potential, but it's hard for me to overlook a guy that's heavier than you getting up the line before you. And I'm going to take you in the first round. And the last thing we need is to take a guy in the first round who ends up being somebody less desirable than we want. Not saying he's a bad guy. He got speed and everything. But as a compliment, based on what I've seen in terms of the arsenal of moves and skill set, it's Mike Green, hands down. Hands down. Both D tackles from Ohio State. If you get them late, God bless you. If you get them early, I'm going to pray for you. I don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't see it. This is another one because it's like I've seen games where I've seen it, but then I've seen games where it was like inconsistent. Landon Jackson. If I had to grade somebody, I don't even know where to put this dude. I've seen games where it looked like he is unstoppable. And then I've seen games where it looks like he needs to be stopped. Because it was not it. Don't see it. Just put it out there. Just put it out there. Why you moaning in the mic? My bad. My bad. Pause. Mike Green Holmes won't draft him. That's what I want. Jalen Walker was on my list. He was on my list. Yeah, he was definitely on my list. I compare him to Roquan Smith. Let me see. What else? Ghost Gunner said, we don't draft enough projects. That's my issue. I don't want no more projects. Ghost Gunner Holmes will pick more prospects if he falls in love with that player. He will draft him at any cost. I think that's true, too. I can't wait until tomorrow's show. We're going to give Luke more gray hair talking about J-Mo's replay. It's just not happening. Let me tell you something. I was not hyped about the Jameson pick because not because I didn't think he was a good player, but because I'm like, we need a starter. And we had to wait a whole year. And then after that year, we had to wait 6 more games. And even still, they was having a hard time getting the ball to him. So it's like, yo, like for real, yeah. I kind of, I want starters in the first. You know, I got a few more minutes and then I got to get ready because brother got to get up super early in the morning. This new schedule is killing me softly. But let me see who else on my list that just they not doing it for me. Let me think. Let me see who else I had. I wrote down a bunch of names. I got a bunch of names that I wrote down that just was not doing it for me. Oh, yeah. Darius Alexander, did he tackle from Toledo? I don't see it. It's freaking Toledo, bro. I need you to stand out like a sore thumb. When you watch Quinye Minshew's tape, you can clearly see he had no business being there. He played well above them players. I don't see that for that D tackle. I don't see it. I wish I could lie and be like, yeah, that's it, but that's not it. And I give y'all one more name. Who again he gonna take up space, and I'm talking about between the first 2-3 rounds. I don't want to see this name pop up for us. Alfred Collins, Texas D tackle. Now I'm a Texas fan. I'm a Texas and Michigan State fan. I like his game, but we're trying to go to the Super Bowl, and you need somebody who can generate penetration up the middle with Aleem McNeil. When you look at the Rams, they got Fisk, they got Turner, they got Verse. They got people moving all around. They got 3 guys who can generate pressure from any position of the field. I need that. I want that. Jack Sawyer, don't see it. I just don't see it. Nothing about what I saw from him jumped off the tape. All right. So I've been on for an hour, 17 minutes. You know what I mean? And I think I'm gonna get up out of here. I'll be back on again tomorrow at 8:30, and I'll be back on again Wednesday at 8:30. I won't come on during the draft at all. I think y'all got more than enough people to watch their draft reactions. I want to hold mine so I can see a picture. Because I'm starting to realize that people thought I was crazy. I did 1,000 mock drafts, and I kept drafting Bijan Robinson, and people was like, cocaine's a hell of a drug. And I'm like, if I did it, I bet you it was, but it wasn't me. I just took what made the most sense. And we took a running back, and everybody went, in the first round, you can't do that. Now, everybody went out and got 26 jerseys, and he don't change this damn number to 0. Joke's on you. All right. James Pierce, Tennessee is high ceiling reports is uncoachable. Man, I don't see it, bro. I see, like, I'm watching. So this is what happened. This true story. I'm watching his tape. Like, I'm diving into it, right? Because I'm like, man, why don't I remember him throughout the season? So I'm like watching his tape, and I usually work my way from their last year on back up to the most present. I just want to kind of see that they have growth. Did they do some things different? Did they add some things to their game? And I'm watching this dude, and he's one of them guys that just pass rush. He has no plan, just like Shamar Stewart. He has no plan. He's just going. And then what happens is he's expecting to just outrun everybody. I'm going to run around you. But I walked away like, who is that guy next to him? Who that guy? Who that guy over there getting down? And I stopped watching him because somebody else stood out. He said, how you forget my boy Ben? Oh, I did forget Ben Martin Scott. Ah, damn it. Don't judge me, man. Don't judge me. I'm getting old, man. I'm trying to remember all this stuff. I wrote a lot of it down. Hey, that was a good find by you. I like what I saw from him. I might have to add him to the list for tomorrow. That's what I'm gonna do. That's how I'm gonna do it. All right. But yeah, I like what I saw. That brother Bam Martin Scott, y'all. Let me just be clear for y'all in case y'all didn't know. He is the linebacker out of South Carolina, right? The only problem that I have with Bam, okay, is Bam don't wrap up when he tackles. Bam wants to hit you, but he does not always wrap up. And that drove me slightly crazy. But he was in every play. You can blitz him. He has speed, sideline to sideline. And I feel like you can fix the wrapping up part. So shout out to Looney Tunes for bringing him to my attention. All right. Sky Guy, what up, though? It says, yo, what's good, Luke? Watching the Pistons right now, but happy to see you live. Listen, that's why I'm going to get off here because I can't even watch the game because I'm doing this. And I knew that this is going to be happening, but I got to get these shows in. I got to get back into my groove. I got to get more consistent. I got to get better at it because what I want to do is going to allow me to do this more, and it's going to allow me to still help the people that I want to help in the way that I want to help them. And I'm moving towards an objective of creating something that help people who are truly in need and just need a moment of relief. That's the game plan. Hey, Luke, will you go live on draft day or recap day 2? I think more than likely I'm going to let the first day go. I'll probably try to recap that first day, but I really want to wait till all 3 rounds is done. All 3 days is done, so I can have a full picture. That's what I really want to do. Like 100%. Appreciate you, Sky Guy. I love James Houston. I thought James Houston was poorly used. I thought James Houston was poorly utilized. They were doing the same thing with Burns, and then they finally realized, oh, he can play. Yeah, let him play. Think about this. You drafted Derek Barnes and then went out and added Campbell and then realized, oh, well, he can play. Like, come on. And Campbell, to me, I told everybody, I just don't see it. He's not impressive. I'm not saying he's bad. He just looks like he's mad. And he still looks mad at me. But nonetheless, people, I got to get out of here because I'm missing basketball. And I got to get ready for tomorrow's work and then tomorrow's live. And then I'm going to start getting back into doing short videos and just trying to get back into my rhythm. It's funny because there's so many people now who are talking Lions. And I remember when I got into it, the major Lions talkers was Everything King, 313 J-Mo. You had Mondo Ray and you had Mobby and man, it's been so long. But nonetheless, now you got options. And there are some really good ones out there. And there's some ones who I promise you, if you listen to these people, I'm going to pray for you. Because I'm telling you, there's some people that have no clue. They strictly play Madden and or they just, I don't know, they just make up stuff like they go. I don't know. I don't know. But overall, that's why I'm not trying to go live when the draft go on, because now we got a whole thing going on with Woodward Sports, who's giving us our own thing to where you don't got to listen to 97.1 the ticket all the time, right? And you got so many different people who are doing it. You still got people like Ryder out there getting it in, right? Still getting the videos out for the people. And so for that reason, I want to make sure that when I come in and I add my 2 cents to it, I can give it to you in its most raw, purest form with no BS, as I've always done. So you know me, I can't end the show unless I do it on a positive note. And I'm going to be honest with you. These quotes today was something different, because how can I word this? I want to make sure I word this right now. These quotes, I think I've had to take this quote into account and say, that applies to me. Okay. And many times, if I'm giving you a quote, it's because I think that's the message that needs to be heard. I believe that's the one that needs to be done. So let's get to the point of it right here. It says, don't be scared to start over. You might like the new story better. Don't be scared to start over. You might like the new story better. And some of y'all want to make career changes. Lord knows I do. But fear will get in the way. And that's normal. That's healthy. That's perfectly fine to be afraid to start over. So you see, with change comes uncertainty. But then I had a thought. They right. What if the story is better? Because when I've dated many people before I met my wife, and I had to start over with each one of them until I got to my wife. And this story is fairy tale. And I was scared as all get out when I started my journey in football. From little league to high school to college. And I thought, oh, this is all going to be hard. But each one was worth every sacrifice. I was scared when I got my first job. Not really sure what was going on or how I was going to do. But each job that came, I started over. And my point to you is this. Some things need a reset. Some of them relationships you in need a reset. And I'm not just talking about the romantic ones. Some of them friendships and that you get with people needs a reset. Some of them relationships that you get with family need a reset. Some of y'all got to reset that job. Some of y'all got to reset life because you've cheated yourself out of things that you should have had. Things that you planned and dreamed about and wanted to get done, but you found some reason to just not do it. You see, you prioritized what you wanted to because that was the easy thing. It was familiar. But when it came time to rewrite the story, you got afraid of how different it may be. The people may not recognize you. Well, that's a good thing. Because if they can't recognize you, then chances is that those changes that you made was exactly what you need. And if those people are truly who they say they are, they would accept the new you just as the old. Because with the new you, it wouldn't be destructive to yourself or other people around you. The new you wouldn't accept just nothing or accept the minimum. The new you would be embracing the changes. So I repeat this quote one more time for those who are hard of hearing in the back. Don't be scared to start over. You might like your new story. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. I'll be back at this thing again tomorrow at 8:30 with some more content, trying to get back into my groove of all these things and figuring out how I want to parlay all of this. I think what I'm going to do tomorrow is talk about the free agents that I wanted and why we didn't get them. That's what I'm going to do. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, don't be no chump. Please do your research. I'm out.